in this studio. I don't know if he found the key to life, but he sure got a couple of them locks picked. You know what I'm saying? So, Bridge Nation, welcome the great one, Jeffery Azan.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to hold this up while you talk, just so like they can do the side by side, because they do it sometimes. You're super tall. Like,
yeah, I realize.
Yeah. You make the studio look like a miniature hub of hobbits. Yes, you make us look small, Jeffrey. Now, talk to us about, first of all, who is Jeffery Azan?
So Jeffrey Azan in this capacity is a author, motivational speaker, and all-around guy trying to find his way in this life. I think that's the simplest way to put it.
Yeah, and you said in this capacity because you have so many other capacities that you actually dip into.
Yeah, it's funny when people ask the question, what do you do?
Yeah.
I tend to ask them, do you want to know what I do, or do you want to know what titles do I have?
Exactly.
Because if we're talking titles, then we start with business consultant, executive coach, motivational speaker, author, martial artist, Toastmaster, counselor, mediator, and
the martial artist one shocked me. Like, I went on the page and I was like, wait a minute. So that's how he knows about the switch kicks.
That's right. Got to work mind and body.
I love it. Yeah, you do. And people don't get that. So we're here in the capacity of this book. It's called Joshua's Journey, The Power of a Few Words.
Yep.
What is this book about?
So this is the long-awaited autobiography of my life. I am Joshua. My name is Jeffery Joshua Azan.
Oh, okay.
So this book is my attempt at chronicling the journey of not so much life 1, 2, 3, 4, but the steps and the conversations and the crossroads where each one changed my direction in life. Ultimately, for me, what it is that it wasn't just me, it wasn't just my decisions, but it was a lot of people influencing my life, conversations that I had, points that people shared, decisions people helped me make. And I realized that happens to a lot of us. A lot of us are influenced by the conversations. They're influenced by the things we listen to.
Yep.
And sometimes they're even influenced by the things we ourselves end up saying.
Yes.
So it's really trying to get the reader to appreciate that it's not just about the conversations that you have. It's not just about the words that you use, but it's also about those words that you allow to resonate in yourself.
Yeah. And a lot of times you don't exactly consciously choose which of those words stick in your brain. I find that, in the case of me, I could say that sometimes you even find negative words years later, finding its way right back into your brain. And it's not just a case of you're hearing it. It really does affect you, doesn't it?
Oh, in a significantly deep way. The voice that we hear the most is our own.
Yeah.
And so whatever we have in the head and whatever we have cycling is what's going to kind of form and fill those thoughts. Thoughts lead to actions lead to habit leads to lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you really want to be careful of what thoughts you're allowing to play in your head. And, you take the example, I'm sure, even if we just look at yesterday.
Yeah.
There are moments of yesterday that you remember and moments of yesterday that aren't quite that vivid.
Yeah.
And when we look at it 20 years down the line, some of those moments may still be in your head 20 years, 30 years down the line. So what are we choosing to hold on to? What are we conscious about what we're listening to? What are we conscious about the conversations that we're having? When I finish speaking to you, do I feel better or do I feel worse?
And then that's very important because a lot of us, we keep people in our lives that don't make us feel better. And sometimes I've found it, especially in poorer neighborhoods or in developing neighborhoods or whatever you want to call it, a lot of people tend to just throw everything on the line for somebody who has a lot of money because they just assume this person knows what they're talking about. And a lot of times that's how you end up putting yourself in bad positions. It should go further than just what comes out of a person's mouth. So to those people who might not come from, the family background, they don't always have someone looking out for them. They don't always have someone speaking positive words into them. How do you reach out to them and say, what you're thinking, you can fix that?
Oh, well, it's really hard to take that journey to really pull them with you because you can't force anybody to change. That's the first thing I learned in the journey. I can't force you to change. So what I need to do is create the opportunity for
you to
change.
change.
So if I create the opportunity and then you step into the opportunity, my next job is to expose you
Right.
to as much as possible. A big joke that I have in my life is that up to 24, I really did nothing. I went to school and I went to work. I
Yeah.
did nothing with life. And at about 25, I had a conversation where for the first time, I heard about motivational speaking.
Yeah.
The big joke is I'm a university student. I have my degree. I've traveled,
Yeah.
decent network. I've
Yeah.
worked. I have an expansive group of friends.
Yeah.
I've lived life. And
Yeah.
at 25 years, I'd never heard of the word motivational speaker. I never heard it. It never existed. I did not know. And that moment of exposure changed everything for me.
Yeah.
I watched one YouTube video with Les Brown and I left that video with the feeling I wasn't even envious of Les. I was looking at it like, why is Les in my position? I connected
That's
at
how
such
I'll
a
be
deep
feeling
level.
about radio. I'll be
Right.
like,
Exactly.
listen.
Exactly. So it wasn't envy, it wasn't bad mind. It was just
No.
like, oh no, that's where I'm
That's what I'm
supposed to
supposed
be.
to be. Yeah.
And that opened up my mind, and that's really what the book is about, because
Yeah.
even that grand change came from a conversation of somebody I met by chance just because I opened up myself. Same thing we're talking about. I decided to change, and then the opportunity presented itself. And then the person in the opportunity says to me, hey, I think you should be a motivational speaker.
You could do this.
And that unlocked the last 9 years of my life, almost to the day.
See, you see, my people, something I tell you all the time. You have the power to make the changes in your life. And it doesn't matter what background you come from. I mean, we're going to call a spade a spade.
Of course.
You kind of you're not lucked out, but you got a family that really, at some level,
No,
was
yeah, I got
supportive.
some support.
Right.
But there's also the other half of it where I also got the fight, because what I was about to do was non-traditional.
Right.
So it didn't make sense. It didn't make money.
Yeah.
Nobody had ever done it. Nobody could see the vision I saw. So I beat my chest. I said, I'm going to go
gonna
do
do it.
this. And everybody kind of went, okay. So now I can't go back to them and be like, hey, you want to help me?
I
I kind
failed.
of screwed up here. Like, you want to...
I know you can't do that.
So there's a lot of just
Yeah.
like tough times because of that decision. But it's not just me. I met a young man, Ashley Price, amazing story.
Yeah.
Last of 6 children, from Southside Jamaica. I mean, really no opportunity in the grand
Nothing.
scheme of things. He built himself a motivational book, 250 pages of his favorite quotes, speakers, stories. He's now a chartered accountant in Canada.
See, that's what I mean. It's like, I get that a lot of people out there, you might not have the head start that others might have. You might have way more blockage and stumbling blocks than other people do. Maybe you didn't have the supportive parents. Maybe you came from an abusive background. That doesn't mean your mental has to stay in the trauma. And that is something that, scientists and psychologists have been repeatedly saying, that when you stay in your trauma, you usually stay that age, like right there. And maybe that's why I'm so childish. Is that why?
I mean, it is
Could
possible.
be. I like me though. I'm okay with it.
I mean, you're good people.
Yeah,
You're
you know
good
what I mean? And that's the long and short of it. Try to be a good person.
True.
But I like what you said about you visualized when you watched Les Brown, and then you were like, you saw yourself. Because it just reminded me of something Shinehead said when I was talking to him. Because even Shinehead, he loved music. He really did. But he said it wasn't until he was like looking at an album cover of the Jackson 5, and he was like, I see myself. Like, I'm in this group. And he visualized, he was saying in his mind, he was part of the Jackson 5. And I think that's the thing. That's how you find what's meant for you. Because when you start feeling that energy about it, keep going, right?
Absolutely. I mean, what you think is what you become.
Yeah.
Now, you might not feel it immediately. You
Yeah.
might not see it in your presence immediately. But when you think it, you'll eventually begin making the decisions that take you in that direction.
And that could be a negative thing, people. You hear what he's saying? What you think is what you become.
Is what you
So when
become.
you adults start calling kids wayward kids and bad kids and labeling them as criminals, like especially the situation we just saw recently with the student and the teacher, you're not helping our kids. You're making it worse. And Jeffrey's here. So just to stray from the book, now that I got somebody very, very educated and sensible in the studio.
I'm here.
We were talking about the situation with the teachers and the students. Big up the Roddy G. He was mad at me this morning for having my opinion. But for me, and
Right.
I just want you to tell me exactly what you think of what I'm saying. For me, if you're going to be an educator, you are held at a way higher standard. So if you have a way wayward child who is acting out, the worst thing you can do is buck a bull. You don't buck a bull. And at the end of the day, as a teacher, you were not paid to be a WWF ring fighter or to pick up desks. And if a kid is feet from you, you don't even need to pick up a desk. The simplest solution, this is really what I want you to say or tell me your opinion on.
Right.
The simplest solution would have been for that female teacher to not deal with that male student.
Right.
To get either A, school security, and have him escorted out, or B, look for the next ranking official up in the school premises, male, to come deal with this male and remove him.
Right.
But by reacting to the young youth, I don't care if he's 16 and that's legal,
Gas on
whatever.
the fire.
By reacting to him, it's like you're reiterating, well, how you're acting is how adults act, and let's just all act like this together.
Right.
And it doesn't help. It's not productive, and it's not being soft not to show them that you can fight too, and I can pick up a guest and beat my chest.
Right.
It's not showing weakness. You're showing weakness by doing that, in my opinion.
So what I'll do, I'll take it in a couple of stages. So the first thing is that, I've done martial arts for close to 15 years now.
3 weeks for me.
And what I'll tell you is that the first thing is you never want to get in a fight. And even if we look at a teacher situation, by fighting, she actually put herself in more danger. Because I'm not even talking from the young man that she was having the altercation with.
Yeah, of course not.
He could have had a brother outside. He could have had a friend outside who would have come in, and now instead of fighting one, she's fighting many.
Or a mother who don't play that.
Well, there you go. So one, and this is for anybody, all of our listeners out there, if you are caught in a confrontation and you don't have to fight, you can walk away, always walk away. That is the first lesson of self-defense.
And would you say, I mean, like for me, I always see it in my head. This is me. This is why it's easy for me to walk away a lot of times. It's very few and far in between anybody can trigger me as bad as they used to. Because I realize how stupid I look when I would react in this type of way.
Right.
I realize that when I don't react to them, it stings them worse.
Oh, it takes everything away, because that's the second point, is that very rarely is there ever a reason to fight. The fight 99% of the time is because of ego. I want to show you I can beat you. And that was a situation with the student and the teacher.
That's exactly what I saw.
She wanted to show that she could dominate without realizing that she put herself in more danger. Now, to the point of teachers holding themselves to a higher standard, I'm not here to tear down any teachers because I know it's a tough job, but I am 100% of the opinion in any facet. There's some people who are called to do something, and there's some people who are employed to do something. So I'm not going to be the judge to say which one you are, but you in yourself, you need to know it in your soul. Am I showing up to be paid to teach, or was I called to teach?
And change some lives.
And change some lives. Now, I don't know all of the backstory, because so much more could have happened that day.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not, all I'm saying in this particular situation, if you're going to chastise that youth, you need to chastise the teacher too. And I'm not saying harsh punishments. I'm just saying let them both know where they both went wrong.
Absolutely.
Because they did both go wrong. So just punishing the kid, you're sending a bad message to other youths of Jamaica. You're sending them the worst message on earth, and people don't seem to understand this. And I don't get that. Like,
well, you know what happened?
I don't get it.
No, there's a whole thing called, what is it called? It's called
willfully dumb. That's what I call it.
No, it's called acute privilege, and you see it all the time with animals.
What's that?
They're animals that people want to save, not because they're actually worth saving. They want to save them because they're cute.
Yeah, you're not really saving the animal.
Right, the whole panda conservation. Like, pandas are great, but we love them because they're cute. Dolphins are great because they're cute. If somebody tomorrow said, like, the globfish was going extinct, everybody would be like, okay,
so
moving on in life. And so that happens with the kids versus the teachers. It's like, it's a kid. He's the problem. And so everything gets loaded onto him. But the reality is, it takes two to tango.
It does.
So as I said, again, I don't know what was said, what was a lead up, what was any of that. But my thing to any teacher, any person caught in a confrontation, your first question is, can I walk away? B, do I really need to defend myself? Is my life genuinely in danger?
Exactly.
And if those two things are not the case, then just walk away.
If you wanted to prove that this person had marijuana or drugs on them, the worst thing you can do is just break out a phone. You didn't have to break out a phone. You're the teacher. Stand there, send Patsy or Betsy for go get who you need to get, and then have it dealt with. But I'm sorry. I'm tired of a lot of people making excuses for bad behaviors, and we need to come to a place where we can stop doing it and people can stop getting mad when people call out truths. Like, for instance, us not having a festival song this year. There's no excuse for that. It was never marketed. And I'm telling you right here on the station, we would have been pushing the heck out of it if anybody even said something to us. And don't ever say something like, well, the people them finna, why? We're in the middle of a pandemic. People got stuff to do. Do you think they wake up in the morning going, oh, it's time for festivals?
Most of us don't even realize 2 years have passed.
Thank you. I really didn't. Even American Idol promotes things, and that is what we need to be looking at. Let's stop wasting time and putting excuses out there and start just doing stuff like Jeffrey did with this book. You can learn some things. It's called Joshua's Journey, and it's about his life and how he decided to make changes. Yeah.
There we go.
And you can do that too. Let me read this. Here we go. Joshua's Journey, the power of a few words. Very often we are faced with situations that can make us or break us. Situations premised by challenges, hardships, and unforeseen circumstances. It is in these moments we are often provided a few words of comfort and a few thoughts in regards to the decisions we have to make or the actions we have to take. Joshua's Journey is a story of such circumstances, conversations, and words which exemplify the inner transformation one undergoes when a little hope, guidance, and belief are poured into one's life. It is a story steeped in self-discovery, perseverance, hope, and faith, all directed towards learning to walk your own path regardless of the detours and naysayers along the way. It is an autobiography written in such a way that will leave you feeling as if the author has pulled up a chair right beside you and is recounting stories and lessons from his own life. Joshua's Journey could very possibly be the roadmap you need on your journey to realizing the fullness of your potential. Boom! I need to do audiobooks.
I was just about to say that's the next step. We need to record an audiobook. We got to talk.
I'm available for bookings.
All right.
Just make sure the money right. Yeah, I just say. I want some money. But the book is out and it's available. Where can people get it?
So we can order on Amazon. It's in paperback and Kindle.
Yeah.
It's available at Ragamuffin Cafe. And we're also in
Where's
talks.
Ragamuffin Cafe?
74 Lady Musgrave Road.
I gotta check that. Oh, this is from. I was gonna say you're not getting this back, but I see it's signed for me.
It's already yours. You're good to go.
Huh? What?
It's a vegan cafe.
Where is it?
It's 74 Lady Musgrave Road.
I'm looking for a new spot. They got Wi-Fi in there?
They got Wi-Fi.
That's all I need. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. They're the only ones with coffee? Jamaican coffee?
Jamaican
coffee soda.
And you like it because then they also have Def Can and Def.
Oh, you sold me.
There we go.
Shout out to Def Can.
There we go.
Yeah, man.
So it's available at Ragamuffin, and we're also in talks with Fontana, Bookophilia, Caruso, and Brand's Bookstore. So we're really trying to get it across the island. But if
you know, we need to have a book award show. There's so many Jamaican authors now.
Oh yeah.
Like, we're not recognizing our creatives. We got a lot of great books out there. Fearless, I've been reading, is amazing. Jamaican author. We have a lot of great filmographers. We have a lot of great creatives that just don't get recognized.
Unfortunately, one of the things that, you know, and I hope to change at some point in my life, is that we treat a lot of our industries like they're a joke, like they're a high school club. We don't treat them like a business. We don't really appreciate that film internationally is a multi-billion-dollar business.
It is.
Athletics is a multi-billion-dollar business.
Yeah, so why was they flights not taken care of?
I didn't bring that up. I did. I'm gonna bring it
because every single thing, and y'all take it as a joke. Oh, Jamaicans will love do things late and Jamaica. It's not funny. It's not cool.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. embarrassing. It is. Waiting for the last minute to put together festivals, waiting for the last minute to put together competitions, not giving any motivations to the citizens of Jamaica. How are you expecting people to still get excited about tradition if you're not doing anything to re-energize the tradition? It's like, hello, 2 + 2 = 4. Why do so many people in charge think 2 + 2
Equals 5?
I think they think it equals EFG or something. Because common sense don't seem to be common.
Well, there's a long talk we can have about that, but you know
don't
what?
get me started. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Oh,
I'll
no,
do that
no,
when
no,
you're
no,
in.
no. But what it is, it really, no, it comes right back down to what the whole book is about.
Yeah.
You know, what are you thinking about? Are you
Yeah.
thinking about your job, or are you thinking about a festival? Are you
Yeah.
thinking about getting paid, or are you thinking
Yeah.
about how can I make this thing greater? How can I make this
That's
thing
it.
better?
That's it.
And it's, you know,
Yeah.
your attitude.
And in regards to who you keep around you, are you thinking of in terms of, oh, well, this person can benefit me because they have money? Or are you thinking in terms of this person really fuels my soul, my mental, my drive to be a better human? And I'm not just talking relationships. I'm talking with anybody. You keep around you. I can't have somebody around me that's talking madness. Like, people don't even get it. I don't even like chit chat. People start talking to me and I'll just be like, My brain is thinking about something other than basic things.
Right. No, and I'm 100% in agreement. Your conversations, whatever you, and let's take it a step further.
Yeah.
When you have a friend around you and they start using a particular slang, what's going to happen?
You're going to
catch that
saying,
slang.
period.
Right. So do you think that even though it might not be slang, you think your brain isn't picking up all of the other things as well?
It is picking up the garbage. And I tell my listeners, you keep listening to one type of music, it does form the person you're going to be. And I tell my adult listeners, you keep calling kids bad and wayward, and they're going to start acting that way because you already labeled them that way. The only way to fix a lot of things is the one most powerful 4-letter word. What is it, Jeffrey?
I'm going to say it's love.
You got that
There
right.
we go.
Yeah, no,
There
that
we
is
go.
the root of all things.
Amen.
And on that note, I'll leave the last words to you, and make sure you add your social media up in there, please and thank you.
So I'll start with the social media. For those looking to connect, you can find me on most social media platforms, Jeffery J. Azan. You can cop Joshua's Journey at Ragamuffin Cafe, or you can order it on Amazon. As I said, you can look out for it on Fontana, Bookophilia, Brand's Bookstore, and Caruso in the very near future. But what I do have to say is that just be mindful of the conversations that you're having.
Yes.
What are you saying? What are you listening to? Who are you keeping around you? As you know, one of the many great speakers I listen to like to remind us that you are the sum of your 5 closest friends. So if you're pairing with 5 waste man, guess who the 6th one is?
You.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So who do you want to be? Who do you want to be remembered as? And if your whole neighborhood know you in a way you don't want to be known as, guess what? You got the power to move and start over and be whoever you want to be. So no more excuses, my people. No more excuses. Get the book. You like that, right?
Yeah.
Joshua's Journey. This story is an active expression of tenacity, strength, and growth, which inspires, instructs, and equips dreamers to believe in themselves. That quote by Sharon Matheson. So get Joshua's Journey, written by Jeffery Azan, The Power of a Few Words. And we'll be back in a few moments. You know what it is. It's The Bridge 99.